And State Police has been working around the clock to help clear the roadways after this week's historic snowfall.
On the line with more on their efforts, Jacob Pichu with State Police Troop B. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank y'all for having me this evening.
All right, can you give us an update on the roadways, making sure they stay safe? You guys have been working overtime, not only in the response to the terror attack, but now to this historic snowfall. But so far, so good for you all, or what?
Right. Well, you know, leading up to today, the past few days, everybody seemed to heed our warnings of, you know, staying home, staying off those roads, and it was great. Today, there was a lot more people on the roads, and it did lead to the gridlocks. But now that everything's open, obviously except for Earhart, and we'll keep you updated on that. But now that everything's open, we just need to remember that we need to wear our seatbelts. We need to watch our speed. We need to watch our following distance. The same things as normal, just let's still drive safe.
How difficult was the gridlock that basically was on the entrance to just about every major thoroughfare today? Did you all have to work to try and make that run a little bit more smoothly?
Yes, we had troopers there as best as they could, but there were multiple calls of service with the influx of vehicles on the road, having to go to crashes or disabled vehicles. Even in that gridlock, there were some disabled vehicles that we had to deal with.
That is messy. Any idea how many of those you all had to respond to?
I don't have the number in front of me. I was out and about throughout the East Bank all day, and I kept hearing my radio go off, though.
But no fatal crashes or serious injuries related to this frozen road situation that you know of?
Not in the Troop B area.
Yeah, just that one in probably Tangipahoa Parish.
Yes.
That happened
yes,
2
on the
days
North
ago.
Shore.
If I'm not mistaken, there was an accident with one of the troopers. Did someone slam into their vehicle?
We did have a crash involving a unit, yes, which is to be expected with, you know, icy roads, and we're out there, we're on road closures, but with it only being the one, I would consider that a win.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like people really were, as you mentioned earlier, just staying home and staying off the roads until today, and then it got crazy.
Right, right, definitely.
Well, you know how it is. People get a little stir crazy and they're ready to get out on the roadways. But as you mentioned, there was a major situation with the traffic earlier. Everything is pretty much clear. Do you think that from now on it's pretty much smooth sailing with the exception of maybe one or two roadways or interstate systems that are not open just yet?
Yes, well, all the interstate systems are open, good to go, free flowing traffic. Just Earhart Boulevard from Jefferson Parish into Orleans Parish and vice versa. That's the only one, just because there is still ice and snow on some of the overpasses, but I know DOTD is trying to get that open.
I was just going to say, what are the conditions there that are preventing them from opening it?
Ice. It's a lot of ice that's still there, and it's not necessarily in the straightaways. It's in those big curvy overpasses like near Causeway,
where there's shade on the road, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Unfortunately, earlier today, I was on Canal Boulevard and I saw a vehicle that had crashed into another vehicle. Though everyone was driving as if everything is melted, there are still some sections that are some really sneaky sections that have patches of ice and snow that have hardened on the roadways, and people are forgetting about that, and they're driving as normally and swerving into other cars.
Correct. And it's also good to mention that there's, especially out in St. John Parish, I was seeing that this evening. There's still snow and ice on some of the shoulders, so just be careful. Keep in your lane. We don't want anything to happen due to there being ice or snow. Even if it's not actually in the lane, there is some on that shoulder. Well,
we just have to thank our lucky stars that it's getting warmer and warmer out, and hopefully that will, melt as we move forward through the weekend. All right.
Yes.
Trooper Pichu, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
Okay.